Are we gonna have an earthquake during the show? We'll probably die.
We are in a basement.
It's gonna be an earthquake. Yeah, we are in a basement. So, actually, well, the probability of this collapsing while we're down here is low, I think.
Yeah. Probably about on par with one of us getting hit by lightning.
Getting hit by
or
lightning? It's probably
or
right in there.
Winning the internet.
It's probably more likely to be hit by lightning, I would say.
Yeah.
Let's see, what do we got here? Beginning of the show. It's the beginning of the show. Somebody said they got a commercial. That's right. We'll hit you with crazy commercials.
It's okay.
It's
It hasn't even
summertime.
started for me.
It hasn't even started for you yet?
No.
No?
It still says it's waiting.
Oh. Well, it's just starting now.
Awesome.
Because I'm blasting off in 4K today, so we got a pretty long delay. We're blasting off and live streaming in 4K, and other people hear the beginning of the show. Okay. Anyhow, where is my button? Everything is configured weird. Let's make sure that this is correct. Oh!
Do we got the rights and the lefts?
Yeah. Alyssa's in the corner. All right. I was going to introduce Alyssa, but yeah, she's already here. Okay. Welcome to the show, everybody. If you've never been here before, this is generally a fish tank, aquarium, plant, shrimps, freshwater shrimps, although I can answer some questions about saltwater shrimps, channel where we do mostly things having to do with fish tanks. But we also do stuff with art, we do blah, 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 and we do live streams, and we have magnificent, glorious guests like Alyssa Bentley on the show today. Alyssa Bentley is a fish tank enthusiast like myself. We have no state credentials in regards to biology or any of that nonsense.
True.
Wait, do you? Hold on, I forgot to check.
I don't think so.
Are you a doctor and we don't know it? Do you have a doctorate and it's a secret?
No. Just an associate.
I got to put your name on here. There we go. Oh, there we go. It's over on the wrong side. Well, let's make it fit here. We'll make it fit the right size and have to move it. Is that working? Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, boom. Okay. So Alyssa and I are both fish tank enthusiasts, so we became wildly good friends like never before 100 million years ago in the Cretaceous period. Is that the Cretaceous period?
Oh, I think it was the Jurassic.
The Jurassic Park. Oh, my God. That's... You guys, we can't talk about Jurassic Park. That's copyright. Right?
I mean, I don't know. Weird Al did it.
Are we allowed to say it? I think we can say Jurassic Park, right?
I
We just
think
can't
so.
play Jurassic Park the movie.
No.
Right? Okay. But anyhow, Alyssa is our newest co-host who comes on every other Friday, as long as everyone's in town and
Right.
we're not dead from an earthquake.
Right.
Which is the hot topic right now of the day in lovely Western Washington, which is where we live. We're currently broadcasting from Tacoma, Washington. But my VPN, I think, is broadcasting through Sweden.
Oh.
I'm unsure. So, I don't know. If you try to figure out where we're at, the internet will probably tell you, hey, these guys must be Swedish.
Hey, is that why Rumbus found you?
Yeah, maybe. It could be. Speaking of Rumbus, we do have some super chats here from the early chat. Thank you very much, you guys, for coming in on the early chat. Rumbust with the 1886 Swedish krones, which is 1 penny, 1 Swedish penny for every single day that I've been sober. And, it's inspirational. Not well. I don't know if inspirational is the right word. That's not the right word. It's an appreciated reminder that I get from Rum Bust about my sobriety. And yesterday I got a what do you call it? Like an unfortunate reminder of how important my sobriety is. Somebody really close to my family has overdosed and is in a coma in the hospital. Somebody who's been battling with drugs and alcohol and stuff like that, and somebody I've known for well over 30 years, and it's really unfortunate because it's like, well, you know, my mom and her husband are here, which is like normally a awesome thing to have my family here visiting and stuff, and it's just unfortunate that stuff like that happens, and this day and age, it's 2019, you guys. I know that everybody has their own pace and things that they're getting to. You know, I've been sober I'm 9, something like that. And, I only got sober 5 years ago, just over 5 years ago. And it was not a day too soon, right? And so, if anybody out there is thinking like, oh, man, I might want to make a change or whatever, like, don't hesitate. Like, now, today is the time. I really don't, I've lost a lot of friends to drugs and alcohol. The list is astoundingly long, and I don't want it to grow. I don't want it to be like a badge of honor, that like, oh, I know a lot of people who died. That's not bringing some positivity, and it's unfortunate. There's not much I can do about it at this point other than just to remind people that you can make a change. It's something that you can do. It's super hard. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but it's well worth it. There's going to be a lot of work and a lot of stuff that you're going to have to do, but it's worth it, like something that's super simple would be like, oh, if I took an hour to make my lunch today, right? Like, it's a bunch of work. It's a bunch of stuff you got to do, but you get the reward of eating a sandwich, which isn't that weird of a thing, right? But you put in the work and you get to have like a really good lunch. Is that a good analogy? Probably not, but you get what I'm saying, right? So, just a heavy heart Friday around here. But we're just trying to plug along. We got things we got to do, and other people are handling that situation, as I mentioned earlier. Alyssa and I don't have doctorates, so what are we going to do if we were at the hospital right now anyhow, other than twiddle our thumbs? So hopefully we'll be able to help some people with their fish tanks and stuff like that. As I've mentioned time and time before, you could definitely make a change if you like, and don't use the current me as an example of who you would like to be, but you could actually go look through some of my old YouTube videos, like from like 8, 9, 10 years ago, and just compare me to me and go like, oh, that guy could improve that much, right? Because, if somebody's 26 years old and, they got that bronze tan and that long blonde hair and they're out surfing every day and looking beautiful, and then they're like, wait, I could end up looking like that dude? Oh, that's not good. Might not be a great comparison, but you can actually compare me to me, and that's one of the reasons that I leave all that stuff up online. Some of it's good advice, but it's just like, man, it's terrible. And I'm appreciative that I didn't die because I just, keep doing what I'm going to keep doing. We got some more super chats here. We got a $20 super chat from Rob the Butcher. Thank you very much, my friend. I very much appreciate it. $20 super chat's a lot. What do we get for $20?
Like a whole meal at Starbucks.
A whole meal. 2 coffees and 2 sandwiches.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Rob. Big supporter of the show. Very much appreciate it. And Jim Smith with a $5 lemon cake breeding fund. Now I'm confused.
Lemon cakes is my yellow long fin bristlenose pleco male.
Oh, okay.
He's the father of most of my baby plecos.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. I can't even remember my name half of the time, so I don't know how I could remember your fish's names.
Yeah.
But I bet now I probably will after a super chat, making me go like, "Huh? What am I doing? What am I doing?" But but it's pretty good. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hello. Sorry to get things started off on kind of a down note, but don't worry, we'll take it up into up note, which we'll be heading over to the Patreon. We're gonna head over and check out some of the Patreon questions and comments and community stuff. And I will remind anybody that is, if you want a super chat or something, I'm not somebody to tell you no. It is very much appreciated. You know what I mean? Like I'm not fibbing when I say thank you. I very much appreciate it. But we head over to the Patreon, which the Patreon is it's basically our crowdfunding page. It's how we are able to show up here on a Friday, have the internet and the lights turned on and operate and be able to go film other fish rooms and stuff like that. Be able to just keep bringing more content. And we do have some big goals in the future of, hopefully being able to do what we've kind of dubbed a air quote maker space at this point, which is essentially hopefully like the fish tank version of a carpentry maker space where people would be able to go there, mess around with tanks, look at some of the equipment that maybe maybe you're considering buying it or something like that, and you want to be somebody who can actually, you can actually go check it out in person, that kind of stuff. Do some live tutorials and things. And, people on the internet would be like, why would I even want to be in on a makerspace? Well, one of the big issues that I have had, I've come in contact with a lot of large YouTubers, a lot of large internet personalities and that kind of stuff. And, over the years, one of the things that I've gleaned from those relationships is, and people not unlike myself, continue to build these big fish rooms, these whether it's your garage, whether it's their garage or like a whole brand new building or whatever it is, and then it's on their personal property, right? It's the funniest thing. It's hilarious, You'd be like, oh, I've got 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm super popular on the blah 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 blah, right?
Right.
But then it's like, no one will ever be able to come to my fish room ever because it's in my backyard.
Or it's actually just the entirety of my apartment.
Oh yeah, or it's just like their apartment. I mean, wherever it is, it's their living space, and it's just like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't want a bunch of strangers hanging out in my basement. It's weird enough that I'm in my basement, right?
I'm here.
So what? So it's like, we've definitely, it's one of the things I've been thinking about doing and trying to figure out how to do. And, it's, that's one of the big things, the big goals for the Patreon now. And I honestly think it's a big, like I said, if you were going to super chat, you could super chat and you end up just leaving a comment. It's there for however long and then it goes away. Or you could be somebody who jumps onto Patreon for as little as $1 a month, and you're able to make posts like this one right here from earlier this week. Brendan Wagner posted this up, and we talked about it on the show. So I feel like Patreon's a big value, and I'm going to continue to expand what's going on Patreon. So in that thread, we will probably now I'm going to try to get it to work, but we'll have a guest tomorrow, and we'll probably be live streaming on Patreon tomorrow.
Nice.
So we shall see how that works. We're going to test it out. 9 a.m. my time. Pacific Standard Time, which is like -8 GMT or whatever if you're in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to be trying that out tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the test run of actually broadcasting direct to Patreon. So we're actually going to be doing a live stream on Patreon, which you'll see how that goes. And then, maybe at a later date, some of the edits from that live stream will come out. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Alyssa is somebody that if we had the makerspace, we would definitely have her involved.
Yay.
Tomorrow's guest is Bentley
Yay.
Pascal, who's somebody who would definitely be involved in the makerspace. Obviously, it would be pretty community driven, that kind of stuff. Not necessarily like requiring people to do stuff or whatever, but the local people around here would definitely be involved in it to some degree. Like probably show up every once in a while and do that kind of stuff. And as I mentioned, like how would that even be important to the internet? Is that my plan is to film all of the stuff that goes on at the makerspace and be able to edit it and put it out onto be able
internet?
to edit it and put it out online so that people could actually watch the videos later and that kind of stuff. So that's the whole reason for it. I think like a perfect example would be like our sponsor, Aquarium Co-op, all right, is our affiliate sponsor. So if you click through a link, any of the links, it basically lets them know that they sent us, and yeah, there is incentive that chips a couple bucks our way depending on how much you buy or whatever. That's basically what it comes down to. So they're our affiliate sponsor, and I've been involved with Corey building out a bunch of stuff at his house, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then no one is ever able to really like go to his house because it's like it's his house, it's where he lives. So it's kind of one of those things that I've definitely noticed with even big YouTubers, small YouTubers, all that kind of stuff, that like building out more and more stuff at their house just ends up being sort of, it's not like a bad idea. It's just in the long run, it's not open to that many people, right?
Well, it's kind of like, it's like if you were a painter, which I know you know nothing about, and you just only painted the inside of your house and never put anything on a canvas that was movable so you could put it somewhere so people could see it. So you were never able to have like a museum open.
Right.
You could never have anybody come and see any of your work.
Yeah, like if Michelangelo hadn't painted the Sistine Chapel, right?
Right. If he had only painted the inside of his house.
Right. And then they just bulldozed it later on.
Right.
Right. Yeah. You'd be like, oh, that wasn't a good idea. Whoops. Yeah. Right. Oh, I got this thing over here. It's going at me. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. And I feel like I've talked about that definitely long enough, right? So let's move right along. Anyhow, so the what's that?
Moving right along.
Moving right along. Our first Patreon post of the day comes from Vince Grippa, our favorite electrician of the South, even though he's not from the South. He's from Colorado, which is south of me. So it might as well means that he lives in. He might as well live in Ecuador, right?
Middle non-border state.
Middle Earth.
Mm-hmm.
From the middle. But Vince sends this in. It says, yes, that is a brine shrimp hatchery attached to my 75-gallon fish tank.
Neat.
Yeah, that is neat, and a very good use of those USB air pumps that did not cross my mind until I saw this, and I realized that's a really effective use of USB air pumps, some old 2-liters, a little bit of woodwork, a couple shelf brackets, and all that kind of good stuff, and it probably works like really well.
I feel like this is the kind of thing my dad would make.
Yeah.
If he was into fish tanks, which he's not at all.
Yeah. And I do have to admit, like, one of my big deficits in fish tankery is not having any kind of shrimp hatchery.
Well, brine shrimp hatchery.
Well, I got shrimps. Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good point. I guess it does need clarity.
Yeah,
yes. I don't have a good brine shrimp hatchery. I should get to making one at some point in time. People are asking, what time are we going to Patreon stream tomorrow? Well, after 9 a.m. But I'll schedule it. So if you guys are on Patreon, you guys will be able to go look at the schedule. It's probably like 9:30, because Bentley's coming over at 9. He's going to get here at like 9, and then we'll,
Talk
get
about
warmed
stuff,
up.
Do things.
Do some jumping jacks.
Stretches.
Deep knee bends. Yeah. Power squats.
Yes.
Power squats. So it might even be 10, but, I have to tomorrow, yours truly, the luckiest guy in the West, has to. I gotta. Does it seem like I'm depressed? Does it seem like I got really depressed there for a second?
A little bit.
Yeah. I have to do photography for I have to wedding. I gotta photographically document a wedding tomorrow.
Hopefully they don't watch this stream.
They might watch this stream. They convinced me to do it. They know I'm not.
Although if they're doing it tomorrow,
It is
they're probably too busy trying to get ready.
It's the most stressful thing in the world.
Yeah.
Like, it's people's special day. They're all stressed out. People are running around amok. They're just like, it's.
Yep.
I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And they're like, we need you to do it. And they're like, I don't want to do that. And they're like, we need you to do it. And I was like, I don't know. I don't want to do that. That's not, no. And they're like, you have to do it. Vicky said that you said you would do it. I'm like, so it's family, but you know.
Right. Well, if Vicky said.
So it's like endless
Then you better.
expectation and, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's already turned into like, no, we just need you to come and take pictures. And then there started to be a shot list showing up, right? Of like, we need this shot, we need that shot, we need the blah, 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 right? And then we need this. And then, oh, yeah, on Friday there's a rehearsal dinner. So if you want to show up and take pictures at the rehearsal dinner, and it's like.
Well, that's today.
That's tonight. And I was told about that this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what? Yeah, see, this is how it's going to go. And then it's like, oh, Sunday there's a thing too. We want you to show up and take pictures for that. And I'm like, yep, it's turning into a 3-day job of, I'm not here. Like, Alyssa can see this new office that we got going here. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. There's a bunch of crap laying all over the place, though.
There's a lot of potential here.
Yeah, it's fine. It's good. It's fine. But I have a bunch of stuff to do. There's literally like Alyssa's the computer, so that like the guest that's here, the parts are right over there sitting next to Alyssa. Yep. I got them in the mail and have not had any time to
I'm trying very hard not to fiddle with it too much.
Assemble them. What are you fiddling with?
Just a tie.
Oh, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I got zip ties for days.
Yeah. That's
Plus,
why I figured it was okay.
I could go buy more zip ties and get another zip tie container for my aquascaping.
Also, this washer.
Like the washing machine?
No, this washer. See?
Oh, not bad. That's a fender washer.
That's
a lot
nice.
of power. I got a $1 super chat from Alvin Alejo. Thank you, brother. Big D Smoke with a $10 super chat says, I'm on Patreon and subscribed here, and I'm going to super chat you, so what you going to do about it? I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do about it. I'm going to say thank you. Thank you very much. If you guys don't know, Big D Smoke actually came to the donut meetup.
Man, I want to meet people.
Big D
Stupid
Smoke.
Other obligations.
Big D Smoke and his son and Ken and his dad came. It was pretty fun. We'll don't you worry. We'll do a donut meetup again.
Good.
Maybe I should go get donuts. Should we just sign off and go get donuts?
No, because look, Pamela.
Oh my
posted a
God,
thing.
Pamela, early find. It's a bear.
It's awesome.
What kind of bear that is? Is it a brown bear?
I don't know. It's bear.
Looks like a brown bear.
Doesn't look like a black bear.
Doesn't look like a black bear.
Doesn't quite look like a grizzly.
Not a grizz.
So probably a brown.
Probably brown.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, grizzly just means it's coastal.
I think it means it's gigantic.
Well, yeah, because there's lots of food by the coast. I think it's a fish.
Jeez.
I think it's a deer. And the humans.
And small pets.
And other bears.
And whales that wash up. Anyway.
And sharks with lasers. Sharks, lasers, laser sharks. Oh my God.
Yeah, but that's good. I'm glad that Pamela's back in action.
This is awesome. If you guys don't know,
It even looks wet.
Pamela, yeah, it looks moist. Hey,
What?
moist.
Yeah.
Yeah, deal with it. Live with it. This is a
I'm
fish
not one
tank
of those
channel.
people.
I can say moist. Fish tank moist. I can
Yes.
say that, right?
Yeah.
God, people are gonna freak out.
Some
no.
people.
People are gonna hit the thumbs up and the thumbs down,
And then the thumbs up again.
and then the thumbs up one more time.
Yes. It's
Who's
okay
it?
if you do it that way, you guys.
Gerald Undone does the yeah, if you didn't like this video, hit that thumbs down 2 times. Like, hit it twice. You disliked it so much.
Twice is nice.
I was like, I heard him say that for like a really long time. Like, it's a sign-off thing
Oh.
down at the end. And I literally thought about it one day. I'm like, I must be at least twice as dumb as the dumbest person around. Because, like, I was laughing at the superficial part of it. Like, yeah, if you dislike this, hit the thumbs down twice, right? And I'm like, oh, yeah, it's because you hate it so much, you're going to double dislike. But then you realize, like, when you hit the thumbs down button twice, it disengages your initial dislike.
Right.
I'm like, oh, man. I should probably get more sleep. Oh. My telephone keeps telling me I should get more sleep.
Do you have like some sort of sleep app?
It seems to be built into the Samsung
Oh.
thing, and I've turned off every possible ask me questions about how much sleep I got. And yet, here we are. It's still 10 a.m. It goes and asks me if I was asleep. It's like, were you asleep last night from 11:50 p.m. to 4:50 a.m.? And I'm like, I hate you, phone.
Jeez.
Thanks for pointing out I only got 5 hours of sleep, you jerk.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid jerk phone.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's problematic. Anyhow, so Pamela Earlywine, if you guys don't know, is a fantastic artist. And as I think me, you, everyone in the whole world, all of the people in the whole world understand, it is extremely difficult to make a living making some art. You know, you could do graphic design and stuff like that, kind of stuff like that, and definitely make it a little bit easier, but it's incredibly difficult, especially.
But you'll just be doing advertising all the time.
Yeah, you know, it's incredibly difficult, and I don't even know if Pamela has a website or anything like that. I really feel like I should. I should know if she has a website or whatever, so I could hashtag plug it. But I would guess if you were to type down in this little, write a comment down here, right? And I'll do it live here real quick. What is your ding dang website? Is that Websty? Look at that. I like it, Websty. That's awesome. What's your ding dang Websty? Pretty good. Is there more comments? Let's see if there's more comments. Ooh, Cheshire Cat says, "Oh, I love it. Actually, kind of reminds me of a dog I had." I think bears are like a distant relative to dogs, right?
Real distant, yeah.
Yeah,
But
like-
that's just because they're all from the carnivora tree. Cats, dogs, bears.
Like the Canis, though, right? The Canis tree.
No,
that right?
carnivora. Cats, dogs, bears. Carnivora.
Yeah, but I think bears is like Canis something, right?
I don't know. I would have to look. I want to say no, but I don't know for sure.
I'm gonna look at.
Okay.
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 All right, you talk about bears and that time that you saw that bear that one time.
So one of my favorite bears is the sun bear because it's got a cool patch on its chest. Growing up, there was always one at the Minnesota Zoo, and I always liked going there to the bear exhibit.
Ursus and Arctos mean bear.
Yeah.
What is this? Did I open the... I'm sorry. I interrupted you because this is the worst website I think I've ever clicked on in my entire life. This looks like somebody made this in 1984.
Wow.
My God, this looks worse than. Hey, what's that weird religion? Weirdos? L. Ron Hubbard's religion?
Oh, the Latter-day Saints? No. No. Scientology.
Looks worse than the Scientology deal.
Sorry,
Ursa.
Mormons. I do really like you guys. You're really nice.
Oh, this is not helping. What's the science name, man? Scientific name for bear. Ursidae. Ursus is a genus in the family Ursidae. I thought they were in the Canis. Hold on.
I think you'd have to go further back.
Let's go to Wikipedia. Okay. Animalia, which I'm pretty sure we know that one. The phylum is Chordata. Class Mammalia. Order Carnivora, you were right. Family Ursidae. I thought there was a Canis in there somehow.
No.
Well, I'm an idiot once again. I've been wrong every time I look something up, and then Alyssa punches me in the face.
Later, though. And then we have to wait 2 weeks for it to heal up so I can do it again.
Yeah.
That's why it's every other week, guys.
It's always so punchy. Like Pamela. And this bear. See how we tied it all together there? Yeah, but by the way, go check out if Pamela has a website or not. Go check it out and buy all the stuff if you feel like buying stuff. If you don't feel like buying stuff,
don't.
Get a credit card and put it on the credit card. It's not my problem. It's the bank's problem. Christopher Gonzalez sent in a $10 super chat. Says, without getting into specifics on plants, I'm getting a heavily planted... I don't know how to read, guys. I'm having troubles today. Says, I'm planning on heavily planting my 75-gallon aquarium. How many plants do I need to buy to have it heavily planted? Also, how does one sanitize a used tank?
Oh, jeez.
Sanitizer!
So, yeah.
There's a lot of people yelling down here. It's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. It's almost like it's you and then also yourself and other people as well.
Stop punching me.
So if I was going to sanitize a used tank, I would start by drying it out completely and putting it out in the sun for like a minute. Depends upon if it's glass or not. You don't really want the silicone to get all sun aged and gross. But then I would probably just use vinegar and wipe it all down with vinegar before using it. Clean it up. Vinegar.
What if I don't have a...
Lovely.
What if I don't have a sun? Dude.
Like if you live here in Western Washington where the sun doesn't show up?
The sun don't shine.
Then, I don't know, I would just use vinegar then. Just let it go. And then dry it out completely. And then set it up. As far as how many plants to immediately get it filled up, a 75-gallon, that's, I mean, it depends on the size of the plants that you find. Like,
yes.
One of my 75s is almost completely filled up with plants right now, and it's because I shoved like 4 swords into it. That were about halfway mature, and then just kind of dropped in some stuff that I had already glued to wood from before. And the other one, it's got like what I put in one, what do they call them, little tissue culture containers full of
pots,
some kind of stem plant that I already forgot what it was called. And just kind of planted it, and then I had a tissue culture full of the pink flamingo crypt and planted that, and then I have a whole bunch of like crypt spiralis that I put in the corner, and it looks so empty, like ridiculously empty, because I'm waiting for those plants to grow, even though when they do grow it's gonna look full as heck and I'm gonna have this huge jungle. So anyways, it really just depends on the size and the maturity of the plants that you end up getting. and you could end up spending $600 trying to fill it up with plants, or you could luck out and go to some auction and pick up a bunch of plants for $50. I don't know. So
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you don't want to go out there and lose your mind spending a ton of money. But like the reality is like I would like if you're going to fill up a 75. Now, whenever I start a tank, I don't really go over the 5 species kind of deal with plants. You know, I'll just start out with 5 that are all going to be really close. And I'm just going on here so I could Patreon Pamela's Patreon while we're live on the show. There we go. How do we go? Because I like Pamela and I would like to patronize her. So it literally just took me that long. That was it. That's how long it took me to do it. Copy. And then I'll go over here to the live chat. There we go. That's 54 Punchy. That's Pamela Earlywine's Patreon page. You can go there and like look at some of her art and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm just became a Patreon because, yeah, why not? I would like to support her. Even if it is $1 a month. It's a gateway drug. You guys. Starts out, it's a gateway drug. And where's my freaking window? Oh, it's this thing. Keep clicking the wrong button. Okay, there we go. Anyhow, so we were talking about the 75. Like, I pretty much would stay with just 5 species of plants. Another one of the reasons that I say, you know, the Aquarium Co-op is one of our affiliate sponsors is because, you know, and I full disclosure, they're not only an affiliate sponsor, but I do work up there with Corey for a couple of days out of the week and stuff like that, right? So I do have intimate knowledge with their not only their customer service, but like how their stuff is curated, like whether they're going to carry a plant or not, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely recommend to anybody out there, if you're going to go buy plants or stuff to take care of your plants, to go there and check out the list, because every plant in there is going to give you a really high success rate, even if you're somebody that's starting out. If you're somebody that's starting out, you know, you're going to be high quality plants that are plants that people will have a much higher success rate. It's not like some obscure stuff that was imported and thrown in and then here you go and good luck and we'll see you later. It's like, you know, the stuff that's converted as much as they can, all that kind of stuff, and it's high success plants. So it's like, it's really, you know, the farms that grow them do a really good job. They're imported, they're brought in, they're made sure that it's a really good quality. So that's where I would go. I would pick out the 5 species that you would want. And these days, yes, you do want to kind of worry about water parameters a little bit. Like, you want to make sure that you're pretty close. Temperature, pH, those are pretty much the only things that you really need to worry about. Like, if you have something that really wants, you know, super low pH, you probably don't want to put it with a bunch of stuff that wants 8, you know. Right. You know, like stuff that wants 8.5 pH, right? But other than that, I wouldn't worry too much about it. What I do take into consideration is color, texture, and height. You know, those are going to be the biggest things. You got a big, tall plant, you're going to want a couple of those in the back. You want a bunch of medium-sized plants in the middle, and you want tiny little stuff down in the front, and go that route. And then, you know, you just keep building sort of the experience of, oh, I got these plants, I planted them, they started growing, I've been taking care of them, I've been trimming them, I've been blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, as the stuff kind of moves on, you can go like, ooh, maybe I need to add this super hard plant. Ooh, I'm going to try that out once you have some success. So I would just stick with 5 species. A 75-gallon tank isn't that big. So I would say if you got 2 pots of the 5 species, it's going to be enough to definitely start out. Let them grow in. And there's also like enough of, you know, breaking them out of the pot and kind of breaking them up and planting them. You'll have enough to definitely start out and then let it grow in. It's also one of the really cool things about plants. You don't have to start out with that much. Because it's plants and it's growing. It's making more,
Right.
which is cool. Just why I tell people, like, you know, like I use the Fluval 3.0 lights, and people are like, man, those are super expensive. And it's like, yeah, but they're growing plants for like a really long time. Right?
Yeah, and you don't have to replace bulbs every 3 months.
Yeah.
$40, $50, $60 worth of bulbs, or however much it costs.
Well, you know, it's like they're growing plants for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably spend less money on the stuff that I actually want, which is plants, right?
Right.
'Cause I can buy like 1 or 2 pots of stuff and then grow it out because the light's really good.
You could buy one stem of water wisteria and rip it up into little pieces and just kind of float it on the top. Wait, plant the roots because it'll root, and then you'll have an entire forest in a month. Maybe that's a little exaggerated, but not too much.
You'll have a forest in 12 minutes because it's magic. I wish Safeway would lose my email address. Anyhow, next post. Oh, man, it's going to be hard to read. My angle of the screen here is weird. Oh, I can read it over here.
I can read it.
What's that?
I'll read it.
You read it. I'm going to take a nap.
Okay. So
Check this
Cynthia,
out.
also known as YIA Crazy.
Check out the new chair.
That's an awesome chair.
Oh.
Although I always wanted to know, Cynthia, does that mean yes, I am crazy? Because that's cute. She says, I am attempting to breed bettas for the first time. I need a new project. Well, I have a million unfinished projects, but I'm a planner. Me too. Those unfinished projects need to follow through, but my brain needs stimulation. So far, I'm thinking about using 5-gallon clear plastic food grade square cube buckets as the tanks. Where are you getting these? I want to know. They are much cheaper and have a larger water volume than the 1.5 gallon glass aquariums that were suggested. Yes. I can also try my hand at automatic water changes because drilling them won't be as much of a challenge. Maybe utilize a sump system? Question mark. I have done research on breeding the fish specifically, but can anyone provide any additional setup advice? Rack building, heating options, fry raising tips? Things outside the cut and dry steps that may help it be easier and more fun? Question mark. Obviously, there is a bit more of a challenge for housing as the fry raise up, of course. I'd like to incorporate that into my rack system. I can go with smaller water volumes for the individual fry, of course. Thanks.
My guess. If I had to guess, she's probably going to be using the 5-gallon Cambro. That's what it sounds like.
Cool.
That's what it sounds like to me. Hold on. You keep talking. I'll find a link for it. I can find it over here real quick.
The only thing is I have never actually bred bettas, so this is a little bit outside of my wheelhouse. Also, I've never drilled tanks. Interestingly, Corey has been sharing this video everywhere about his new betta setups that look kind of cool.
That's true.
Probably would be similar to what she's needing done, although 5 gallons is much, much bigger than the little half-gallon containers that he's got.
Yeah, if you had like, if you had, what's the word I'm looking for here? Well, dang it. I can't find one that's like prime shipping. So we can get it shipped to the moon.
For free tomorrow.
Free tomorrow. Moon. Shipped. Send it out. Do it. But anyhow, I think the containers that she's talking about are these. Oh, that's just the lid. Help me out here, internet Amazons. Where did it go? I looked these up the other day. Oh, here we go. Here's the 12-quart version. So this is like a 3-gallon version of what I think she's talking about. Let me get the text here. Copy. Copy that. Boom. There we go. Send. Engage. Anyhow, so I think that's the containers that she's talking about. And then on top of that, I think, what was the other question? They are much cheaper and have a larger water volume. I can also try my hand at automatic water changes because drilling them won't be a challenge. Yeah, drilling those won't be a challenge. Drilling plastic stuff and acrylic stuff is actually really easy. I mean, as long as, as long as you don't have like the delirium tremens, what does that go? The DTs, right?
I don't know. Delirious tremors?
The DTs, right? Then you'll probably be fine. It's pretty easy to drill acrylic and plastic type stuff. But, just be careful with it because you can melt it if you're going too fast or too slow. So that's the one thing to keep in mind. But you definitely could do it. And so maybe utilize a sump system. I've done research on breeding fish specifically. We can even provide additional setup advice. So rack building, you definitely want to start out with drawings before you even get into your rack building. Unless you've done it a lot and it's something you do all the time, you're going to get lost. It's just going to be a thing. So find some examples out there, get your measurements ahead of time. That's going to be the biggest thing. Heating those tanks, you want to heat the room. If you're breeding betas and you have like what I've had at certain points in time when I used to breed betas, I'd have like 65-gallon buckets. You do not want to have a heater in every single one of those buckets.
No. You'll blow a fuse.
And you won't blow a fuse. You just go broke.
Well, that too.
Because you'd be heating all those buckets to keep the water in the buckets warm. Then they'd be evaporating. Then you'd be trying to run a dehumidifier. The building would mold. You just have a billion problems. So just heat the room. You'll be fine. And then raising fry, you're going to need a lot of buckets and stuff like that and someone to sell them to. Do not get into breeding betas and stuff like that if you don't have anywhere to sell, or at least, a store or something like that you can bring them to and get store credit. Mm-hmm. That was one of the biggest things that I used to do is I would get store credit for the fish and stuff that I would breed. Then I'd be able to buy more tanks and more equipment and blah, 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 and that kind of stuff because store credit doesn't really go that far unless you're buying fish stuff, right?
Right.
So, yeah. That's kind of the reason I was doing it. Is like I basically... Because I would basically... I'd end up spending more money than I was making or whatever, but because of store credit, it actually... it just made the offset. Like I wasn't buying tanks or food or any of that kind of stuff because I had store credit.
It makes the hobby more affordable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I noticed a post from Fish Lover earlier, very upset that you guys aren't getting notifications. That's because YouTube has changed yet again. And not to get 100%, not to get all crazy deep in the YouTube conversation. In the logistics of YouTube or whatever, but the YouTube notification thing has changed. You have to go to the bell, click on the bell to open up the little sub menu of when you get notifications, and you have to click always from whoever it is that you want to get notifications all the time. Because even if you subscribed and click the notification bell on,
mm-hmm.
It won't send you a notification every single time. You have to literally open up that sub menu and click always. It's weird. I think what it has to do with is that there's just so much information. There's so many videos going out. And you have to think of it this way, like... Let's say that 100 channels with 1 million subscribers, right, all upload a video and have it set to go live at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you have to send out like 100 million notifications to all the subscribers and the cross subscribers and the people that might be subscribed to this one and that one and right? it just ends up becoming a problem. So if you're subscribed, it'll show up in your feed, that kind of stuff as you scroll through or whatever. But they're like, we just can't. They want you to specifically go to the people that you always want to get a notification from and turn that on. Like a perfect example would be Aquarium Co-op. Like Aquarium Co-op, I have the notification. I have the always thing turned on, and then I have the app allows to send me a message if they upload a video or go live or whatever, right? So if Corey goes live or whatever, like I get a notification sent to my phone. I basically use Aquarium Co-op as my guinea pig to see, like, to actually verify what works and what doesn't work, right?
Right.
Because, like, if he uploads a video and he has a video that comes out, it sends me a notification. I'm like, okay, so the notification thing does work if you have everything, like, basically clicked yes, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those things. And it's just the way that it goes. Like, it's just because there's so many things that are constantly being uploaded and everything. They just can't send a notification to everybody. Candy, I made it to 100, courtesy 54 Punchy and the gang the other night. And I have to thank the Diva 2, Donald's Fish Vibes, 100 subscribers.
Nice.
Congratulations. I feel like 100 is the hardest to get to.
It's the triple digits.
It's that triple dig. Triple dig. How many people we got? We only have 88 people in here today. Ooh, we have a nice quiet Friday.
Ooh.
Not too many people coming in and be tripping, you know?
It's real intimate.
It's intimate. It's Intimate Friday. Dominic Nadeau sent this in. Remember last Friday when I sent a post saying that my Apisto were not breeding yet in my 30-gallon? Well, they must have seen it because I've spotted some tiny fry in the bottom. Tried to snap a picture, but the brown algae on the glass did not want to play nice with me. Maybe I should get some photo classes and at least one macro lens for my T7i. Maybe.
Congratulations.
Which is just another reminder that I gotta sell my old camera. Yeah, gotta sell it. Although, in camera news, Sigma has a new camera coming out, which I'm pretty excited to see some reviews for it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I don't know anything about cameras other than that they take pictures. But that's awesome.
Camera take picture. Very nice. Chattanooga Ed says, Bob, it was the best video Candy has ever made. What video? What video is it? Did Candy upload a video?
That would be very out of character for her.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
And I would
Can't
think I would
find
notice because I am subscribed to Candy's channel.
Can't find your unboxing video. Did Candy do an unboxing video?
What?
I'm confused. I don't know. Either way. Cheshire Cat says Amazon Prime Day is coming up. I was wondering if you'd post on Patreon or something a list of fish stuff and tools you use. I remember you posting the temp gun thing you recommend. Actually, that's in my Amazon affiliate store. So if you actually go to the storefront, I'll be honest with you guys when I say that I don't probably keep up on it as much as I should. But I think the list is about 100 things for you guys could go through, and I don't even know really where that is. I wonder where that is. Let me see if I can find it. What do I have to do? I have to go to this, and then I got to find my button. Where's my store? Let's see. It's in here somewhere. I go, oh yeah, I have to go to this. This is probably why I don't keep up on it that much, because this is like, this takes up a bunch of time. Like, and I don't have time. I don't have time for this normally, but we actually literally are doing the show right now. So I copied the URL, and then I pasted in here, and then that's the Amazon store. Boom! Goes the dynamite. Good job, guys. Good job. Everyone involved did a really good job. Alyssa, you did a good job.
Thank you.
Everybody, guys. It was a real solid effort.
Good team
It's
effort.
like it's 4th down and 1 yard. We did it. We turned over the football, and they're going to score now. Good times.
Scored more
Dominique
points.
Nadeau, love it. And maybe you should get a macro lens. I don't know. If you're into photography, do it. If not, just use your cell phone.
If you wait
realistically.
2 weeks, then you can start taking pictures of them. Gets easier. 'Cause
Oh,
they get bigger.
They get bigger. They get bigger, and then it works out, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Matthew Homer sent this in onto the Patreon. Says, so I tried the multiple earthquake rescape method and do not recommend it. Like,
That
we had
sounds
an
stressful
earthquake.
and horrible.
We had an earthquake here last night, which I'm far enough away that I didn't even notice it. It was like a 4.7 or something up north.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up this morning to a bunch of people going crazy on Facebook that there was an earthquake last night. As far as I know, no injuries or anything like that. So, that's the best kind of earthquake. The ones that just are irritating, right?
Right.
Yeah.
The ones people just kind of talk about whether or not they felt it.
Yeah. It's like, did you feel it?
I thought it was a truck.
That's what
Et
she
cetera.
said. Office jokes.
It's a Friday.
That's
That's
a-
for sure.
That's office dad jokes. I got to put those in every once in a while, right? Because I'm a dad now. I'm a
Right.
dad meow.
Yep.
Right meow.
Right meow.
Right meow. All right. So, yeah, don't recommend the earthquake test, but it says, considering my house is less than 10 miles from the epicenter of the 7.1 and 6.4 and 4 5-ish quakes, I think I came out pretty lucky to only lose one 5-gallon tank with no fish in it. I found that my rimless tanks fared a lot better. I think that's because the mats they sit on create more friction than a rimmed tank. 29-gallon and 20 long rim tanks slid on their stands.
Oh, that sounds
10-gallon
terrifying.
rimless and 15-gallon Fluval Flex stayed put. Does anyone have any tips for keeping aquariums in an earthquake zone? So there are earthquake stands that you can put aquariums on. How much you think they are, Alyssa?
$100 million.
Pretty much. So you can't really. It's pretty cost prohibitive. Is what I'm saying. It's really expensive to try and do that.
But
and have
it
an
might be
earthquake
worth it
safe
if you've
tank.
got like some sort of really valuable fish, or if you just personally place a lot of value in your fish.
Well, what I'm saying is that like the earthquake stand is probably like $2,000,
Wow.
$3,000, maybe even more. And most people are like, the dollar per gallon sale's going on. I can finally buy a tank.
Right.
And you're like,
I'd want to see what makes it
Oh.
an earthquake stand. Like what makes it.
it actually basically has ball bearings built in so
Oh.
that the whole thing will A, hold the weight, and then B, when the earth quakes, it keeps the whole thing essentially level.
Oh, okay. Using some of that Japanese
Yeah. And so
technology,
it's like,
earthquake technology.
you can do that if you're the everyday average person like you, me, not Alyssa, but you and me. You, the viewer, and me. Alyssa is always buying super expensive earthquake stands and everything because she's a baller. She drove over here in her Bentley. That's why she goes by Alyssa Bentley.
Right.
she
It's not
drives the
actually my
Bentley.
last name or anything. It's just because that's the car I want to drive.
No, it's the car you do drive
Yes.
because she's a baller.
Right. I drive it because I want to.
I did notice that Bentley said in the he's talking about the camera, so I'm gonna get sidetracked here for just a second.
Okay.
The Sigma FP, the Sigma FP is the new camera. They have not released it yet. We don't know how much it costs, but it is intriguing. And then Bentley said, though as I recall, Joel currently uses a Canon EOS R and a Canon 6D Mark II. I use mainly I don't own an EOS R. I own an RP. That I don't use that often. I mainly use it for stills and stuff like that. But the 6D Mark II is the main camera that I use for most everything. And my reasoning for that is that I really like the EOS R, but it was like $2,500, way too much money for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been trying to save up for a C100 Mark II, which is actually like a cinema camera, which is like a digital, like movie camera, basically. Which a used one I can find for about $2,500, generally speaking. The C200 has just come down, so I'm kind of thinking I might just save money for a really, really long time and hopefully try and get a C200 someday. But I really like the EOS R. If somebody wants to get into a high-end hybrid body, it really is a solid camera, and I definitely do recommend it. It just has some features that I don't really need or use or would want for that price. You know, $2,500. It's kind of like, oh, it better be like, I better change the oil in my truck, right? That kind of stuff. Take out the trash.
Oh, taking out the trash is pretty free.
So you say. It's not free.
I mean, it costs money to pay the trash bill.
Trash bill?
Yep.
Trash bill, you say?
Mm-hmm.
I burn my trash.
Because that's legal.
I actually don't. I'm just kidding.
Right.
But as we were talking about the earthquake safe your, the earthquake safe to earthquake safe your aquariums as just a regular old, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're just like a regular old person, right, then you what's the word? Oh, what you want to do is you actually want to get some of the straps that go to the wall, and you actually tie them into a stud back there. So you put an anchor bolt in, and then there's a strap and an anchor bolt that goes into the stand, so that in the shake and the quake, basically that strap will hold the tank in the stand, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it starts shaking, and the tank's gonna fall like away from the wall, and fall down and break, and all the water go everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
That strap will get taut. It get taut like a tiger, and stop it from falling forward. But yes, the mats underneath them really do help out also. But you just basically want to strap that thing to the wall, and that's going to be the best thing that you can do. You know, but yeah, those mats underneath really are extraordinarily helpful for stopping them from sliding around on the stands also.
So would you do like a strap around the top rim, like all the way around it, and then bolt it to the wall on 2 points?
No, you strap the stand.
Oh.
And yeah, you might lose a little bit of water because it's still going to be doing this, but it's not going to fall all the way over. And it will definitely give a lot less opportunity for the whole thing to slide and fall over, right? So like as it's shaking around and starts getting some momentum to go, it'll just pull the whole thing over. Like it'll just tip the whole thing over. So what that strap will do is, you know, it'll shift and move around with the wall, but if it tries to go this way and then keep going, that strap will stop it from keeping going. And if the whole wall falls over, it was all going to be ruined
got
anyhow.
bigger problems at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
anyway.
the whole building probably fell down. So if the whole building falls down, it's going to break the tank.
Right.
But it's just like if you want to, you know, you got to strap your fridge to the wall and stuff like that, bookshelves, that kind of stuff. It's that same thing. So a lot of people will be familiar with that, but that's the best thing that you could do. And then have some kind of mat underneath it. That's kind of a skid mat, right? That'll help too. Stop it from scooting around. But you know, it's an earthquake. It's not great.
Right.
I mean, like I said, there's a really expensive way to stop them from, you know, from tipping over, but it's crazy expensive. But the other way is crazy cheap. You know, strap it to the wall, screw a couple screws in. It's not a big deal. So, And like, a little bit of wetsuit material is great for the mats. If you can't figure out what kind of mat to put under there, you can, like any fabric store or whatever, can order up some real thin wetsuit material that works the best. We got a $2 super chat from Christopher Gonzalez that says, "Thank you both. # bring back the mohawk." I would assume that that's directed at you.
Obviously.
#. Why don't you bring back your mohawk?
Because I would have to go back in time and get a mohawk. And then grow it out. And then come back here to this time. And then shave it off again.
Shave it.
And I don't want to. Because
if you had
my
a time
Bentley
machine,
my Bentley can go up to 88 miles per hour, but I don't have a flux capacitor in it.
or 1.21 gigawatts.
Yes.
What's the
Do people still know that movie?
Marty
McFly?
Right?
Yes.
That's that guy, Marty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see my spouse is in the chat. Look out.
Oh, yay.
Vicky Toria is in the chat saying what up to everybody. It's good to be here.
Yep.
89 viewers today. Man, it's real quiet out here in the summertime on the old internet, isn't it?
It is. I think it's just because people are like, hey, maybe we should go outside and plant some strawberries or something.
Ooh, that's good. They should.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they should do that.
I have gotten exactly 2 strawberries from my strawberry bushes.
Oh. That reminds me, Vicky and I should go out and pick the blueberries and raspberries that are out there right now.
You should.
Michael
That'd be cool.
Saar sends this in. He's got some of them IBC containers. If you guys don't know, these things are 330 gallons. They have a valve on the bottom. They come with a cage. And they normally have a top, which he's cut out to make them into some ponds, which is great. I love this. This is probably the most effective and modular way to set up some outdoor pond projects or whatever. Like it really is like cut a hole in the top and fill it up with water, you know? It looks to me like he's added some viewing side panels here. Some do-it-yourself viewing side panel.
Has he?
Yeah. I mean, that's what it looks like.
There's more photos.
Yeah. This is the Hall of Natives, Sunfish and Darters. He's got sunfish and darters in there, which is awesome. Which, obviously them being native fish, they do fairly well out there in a pond, I forget who it was. Somebody was asking me about doing some pond fish. Oh, it was Vince. Vince was asking me about some possible pond fish. And the reality is like, if you can get natives to your area, that is the quickest, cheapest, easiest way to do it, for sure. Now, one thing I'd like to illustrate or point out here from Michael Saar's post, you see these computer fans right here?
Mm-hmm.
What's that for?
Cooling stuff down?
Evaporative cooling. It's pretty much the easiest way to do evaporative cooling outside or like on a fish tank or anything like that is computer fans. Normally these 120 millimeter computer fans cost like $6.99 for 2.
Really?
Yeah, so you start to think about it and you're like, oh, that's not that bad. 2 fans, like 2 of these little fans will do like a 100-gallon tank.
Probably even cheaper at like RePC or something.
Oh, maybe. But they come with they're all dusty.
Yeah, that's true.
They're all dusty and gross, because gross, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, but yeah, that's definitely one of the best ways to use evaporative cooling to cool down your tank or your ponds that are outside, which is pretty cool to actually see. It's actually cool to see somebody that's actually motivated enough to like make sure that the temperature in his tanks was like outdoor ponds are cool enough and actually have something set up to do that, right?
I wonder if his sunfish are similar to the ones that I grew up catching as a kid up in Minnesota.
Yeah, probably. I would think.
Apparently, they're also known as pumpkin seed fish to some people, but we just called them sunnies. I don't know.
Sunnies?
Yeah.
Like Sunny D?
No.
You'd be like, oh, what's that Sunny D? I'm going to drink it and get diabetes.
I don't
That
think
stuff's
we
gross.
ever got that.
Do you like Sunny D?
No, not really. It
That's-
just tastes like sugar,
Ugh, it's gross.
like syrupy sugar. Gross.
Hey, folks out there on the internet, drink whatever you like, but Sunny D is gross to me. Yeah, it's just like, it feels like orange sugar in my mouth.
It's
and I
like
almost die.
it's like getting that Nestea iced tea stuff.
What's that? What? What?
It's just slightly flavored sugar. Like you
What?
might as well just crush up
What?
sugar candy and drink
What?
that.
What?
But look, Alex's aquarium has another little pond.
What's that? Oh, yeah, Alex's Aquarium Science. Which, by the way, thank you, Alex's Aquarium Science, for upping your patronage during the show.
Oh, nice.
That's totally cool.
Is this
That's
one of those?
One of the cool things about Patreon is that, like, you just go on there and change how much, you just type in however much you want.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going with the 555.
Nice.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Isn't that your
Right?
favorite number?
That is my favorite number. 555.
See, I
You
remember
know.
things.
I mean, there's a decimal in there, which seems weird.
That's
you know.
okay.
Move that decimal over. Right?
So it's 55.5 cents. Wrong direction?
Keep going.
Uh,
I kid. That's a lot.
I like this though. Is this one of those half wine barrels with a liner from like?
Oh, I didn't notice the wood down here.
Yeah,
Yeah, that must be like one of the half wine barrels with a liner.
my boyfriend really wanted me to do this,
You should do this.
and then
Your
he was
boyfriend's
like,
right.
he's really awesome. But he wanted to put my goldfish in it, and it's too small.
Well, you don't want to put your goldfish out there.
No,
No.
it was
We
pretty.
have way too many raccoons out here.
Yeah,
You can't just be putting goldfish in a little... How many gallons is that? 28 or something like that?
no, it's like just 20.
Oh, it's just 20?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like disappointingly
It's
small.
not... I mean, it's great for a lot of fish. Like
Yeah, rice fish.
rice fish, guppies, minnows, mountain minnows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a bunch of fish that you could put in there.
Yep.
But it's just not great for goldfish. It's not enough.
But I love all the plants. You got plants coming up and out of it, and that's awesome. I don't know if you have any kind of filtration going on in there, but
As they say,
it's fantastic.
textbook.
Oh,
That's
in Tennessee. Oh, and it's got paradise fish spawning in there. Shoot, this awesome. Alex, that's awesome. I approve.
Swasm. Swasm. I like it. Thank you, Alex. I like that. That's good stuff. Dominic Nadeau also sent this in. Tried my best to have a better shot of those cockatoides fry. Not an easy task. You can see two of them on the bottom leaf of the central plant. I had so much fun feeding BBS with an airline tubing taped. What? So much fun feeding baby brine shrimp. It's hard to deal with the abbreviations sometimes.
Right.
Because BBS, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could stand for a whole bunch of different things.
It really could. Bumbling, beautiful shrimp. Mm-hmm.
Big, boisterous,
Bouncing.
boisterous,
Or boisterous.
sausages. What?
Sandwiches.
Bulletin board services? Could be. Anyhow, the baby brine shrimp with airline tubing taped on a 2 milliliter pipette, and watch those little guys eating. That's pretty good. We might have to go over here and access the arrow here for a second, just in case. Whoops, landed on Alyssa. Oh no, it's not in the front. Look, it's going behind the Patreon.
Uh-oh.
Sneaky arrow. Let's move it up. Oh, hold on. To the night. Oh, do I have to like seriously manually move this up like one by one? I do. Okay, that's odd. Anyhow, there's one right there and the one right there.
Oh, I see it.
Camera 1, camera 2. camera 1, camera 2, and there's the parent right there.
I see 3 right in a pile right below the mom's eye,
There's
basically.
that one right there. Right there and right there. 1 little fish, 2 little fish. Right there. Okay. That's my little impersonation of Strong Bad. Anyhow, back on to Mike Howie sent this in. If you guys don't know, he was lucky and got to go to Germany after lots and lots of hard work. He actually got to go there. So I don't know if it's luck when you buy the tickets and all that, right?
Right,
Is that
that's
lucky?
just hard work.
I mean, it's lucky that you get to go. You're lucky because it's 2019 and you can actually go there. Fly around, stay at a hotel.
Yeah, I can buy that.
Google Maps, not get lost, right? Hello. Uber, right? We have these things.
I know. Technology, it's awesome.
Mike Howie is of the Fish Tank Barn, if you guys don't know. And daughter picture, pretty decent camera for a daughter to have right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's an interchangeable lens camera body. Looks to be a Canon because of the EOS strap. So we don't know which one it is, but I'm gonna guess. If I had to guess, it's probably the SL2. If I had to guess, what do you think?
I don't know. I agree with you.
Yeah, I'm right. My guess. It's right that I guessed. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It is correct that I guessed. Let's see.
I'm liking this old castle, though.
So Mike says, family and I just got back from Germany last week. These are the non-fish posts. The fish picture, or the first picture I took is on his daughter at Heidelberg Castle, which he really liked. The second is downtown Heidelberg, and the third is the Heidelberg Castle. We all had a really good time in Germany. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
The 2 times I've been to Germany, I had a really good time too. And it's really cool to be able to just like go check out some old ruins. Like, when was this made? And they're like 200. And you're like, 200
AD or
what?
BCE?
They're like, it's either AD or BC. I'm not sure, but either way, that's a real long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
And still standing.
I'm like, it might be a long time ago for you.
But not when you're 100 million years old.
Not when you're 100 million years old. That was like last week. 100 million. But that's dope, man. I had a great time when I was in Germany. I hope to go back someday. And yeah, here's a perfect example of like what I encountered while I was there. So Mike says, while I was there, I was able to get to Cola Zoo, which is the German equivalent of a PetSmart Petco. It was an amazing store. The first image is one of the 2 koi tanks that were in the store. That's the thing.
Oh,
Like,
some
you're going to
awesome
the-
looking koi.
Yeah, like one of the Cola Zoos I went to, they had like all these huge outdoor ponds for all of their koi.
I like this mostly white one with the little orange splotches and the tiny little black dots that's underneath this solid white one. I think it's awesome. It's dope. I would get that.
This one right here.
Probably.
That one? Which one? The other one?
I have no idea what you're pointing at.
Yeah, me too. Me also. Second is amazing discus tank they had on display. The third was an area where you could set up aquascapes and then buy what you built with it.
Oh,
so it's
nice.
like one of the test tanks, which I'm actually going to be building one of those fairly soon. So I'll probably do a tutorial video on like how to build one of those and like not completely screw it up. Like
Nice.
only like halfway screw it up, because it's more fun to halfway screw it up. It's a
Right.
good time. Everybody has a good time. He also got some videos coming out about having gone to Germany. There's a link right there. You'll be able to go over to his channel and check it out. And I look forward to it. I'll be honest. I don't really have time to watch that much fish videos. Like, I just really don't. But that one I'll probably will tune in for.
I watch them while I work on my tanks.
Working in a gold mine. My problem is that I'm making videos whenever I work on my tanks.
Yeah, I suppose I only occasionally do that.
Yeah. But here's a really cool post from Rumbust. Time for episode 2 in the 3D printing series. You guys don't know. If you guys don't know, Rumbust is an avid 3D printer.
Do like those. thing.
This is his custom ordered rimless tank. Ordered a lid for it with some clearance and printed these covers. They're a little rough. Oh, I'm yawning, guys. Sorry. They're a little rough where the glass rests, but from more than 2 feet or so, they look indistinguishable
Good job.
from the ones that came out to the tank next to it. It's pretty good. Hey, I'm on the internet right now. Quit laughing at me. I feel sad now. But Rumbus, I think this is like a perfect way to utilize 3D printing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Oh my God, I'm yawning. What are you gonna say, Alyssa? I'm gonna drink my coffee.
Okay. I wonder if the roughness of it will actually help keep the glass from gathering moisture and creating a gross film there. Like, I don't know if you get the pink slime out there.
Oh, like
Rumbus.
under the undercarriage?
Yeah, because that stuff's disgusting. But I would imagine that with a little bit of texture there, it can kind of help it run off
Where the
back
rubber
into the tank where it's supposed to go.
where the rubber meets the road, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
basically.
Actually, that's cool. That's a thing I didn't really think about.
I always think about that grossness that you have to clean up. Ugh.
You always think about that? That's
I
what you
really
always
do.
think about all of the time?
Yes.
What are you thinking about right now?
I'm thinking about the fact that I really want to dust the cobwebs out of that light right there.
No, those are my cobwebs.
Well, I
F you.
didn't do it.
Those are my cobwebs. You can't have them.
I just want to. That's what we call self-control.
You can't steal my cobwebs, you criminal. Cobweb thief. That's a weird song.
She came in, she broke into my house, and then she stole all my dust and my dirt. I was saving that dirt. I was going to pass that down to my
Make
kids.
it a Broadway show. She came in through the basement window. She stole all of my cobwebs. I have to sing it intentionally bad because it almost had the rhythm and rhyme of a possible Beatles song, and then I'd get a copyright strike.
Le gasp.
Oh!
I don't think I would fit through that window, though.
Yeah.
But it's okay, because I have a duster tool with an extension that I could just reach it from the window.
We won't let you.
Okay.
It's not going to happen. You can't get my cobwebs. They're mine. Because I'm crazy bug eye, man. Give me some candy. Anyhow, so we got a post, additional backup post here from the Rumbus. We sent in my son's tank at the top. Might be primed for some maintenance, but so might my office tank below. Time to clear some guppy grass.
Heck
The
yeah.
office tank is my quarantine tank. It's currently quarantining about 6 months and counting. Take those things seriously.
Yeah.
Taking that serious quarantine. 1 male and 2 female Moscow blue guppies. Ooh, congratulations.
Nice.
You know that our boy Bentley Pascal has those.
That's true. He loves those things.
My guy, your guy, our guy. He got them guppies. Anyhow, unfortunately, the male guppy died a few months ago, but I must have gotten some extras with some plants or something because there's a bunch in there now. Or the female were pregnant already.
Maybe.
Right?
That's very possible. In fact, it's almost guaranteed.
Almost guaranteed. There's also a cherry shrimp colony and a male bristlenose that doesn't behave in my
Big tank.
big tank.
I've had to rehaul male bristlenoses before for that, actually.
They get stabby.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize how stabby they get.
They get super stabby.
They get
so mad at each other.
wicked stabby.
Yeah.
Oh, what do we got? I forgot to. I guess I forgot to reload the Patreon over here. Because that's some posts from noon, but it is almost 4:30.
True.
Should we save those posts for Monday? What do you got?
Well, I mean, we've got this one from Cheshire Cat. about frozen food.
Oh, that's a good point. Let me turn this off so I can actually reload it.
Okay.
Start reading it.
Okay. Cheshire Cat says, from 2 hours ago, well, I fed my fish frozen food for the first time. I've never fed frozen food before, so it was new for us all. Unfortunately, it's not going as well as I had hoped. I somehow forgot that I have some greedy, selfish, jerk fish that don't like to share. So most of the fish only get to eat leftovers and loose bits that are floating around. Last night, I divided the block and scattered a few sections throughout the tank, but that didn't go over as well as expected either. Most of the fish didn't catch on and find them and were swimming around wondering where the food's at. So the few that found the portions had more to eat. I also tried giving the bettas a small chunk individually, but of course they didn't even notice it and also wondered where the food was.
Where the food at?
I'm assuming that they eventually found it. I can't find the pieces anyway. I think it only worked well with the separate fry tub. I bought Omega-1 freshwater community and Omega-1 spirulina brine shrimp. I'm not fond of the strong, gamey fish smell. Well, they love it. The fish freaking love it. I'm not fond of the strong, gamey fish smell that doesn't come off my hands even after scrubbing with sponge and water, or soap and water. I'm not a fan of seafood myself. I despise peas as well, yet I have a frozen bag of the stuff just for the fish. The things I do for these creatures, let me tell you, right now in my freezer is fish food and coffee. And that is it. That's all that's in my freezer right now. Just fish food and coffee.
Fish food and coffee? That's it?
That's it. Oh, and some ice, I guess.
You got to step it up a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, we just eat fresh food most of the time. So, you know, the one thing that I do, Cheshire Cat, is I will feed the fish with the tweezers. Or tweezle twazzles, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I'll grab the block of food and then I'll just be like, look, there's food up here. And then I sit there and I watch them eat it and I just kind of shake it around every once in a while. And I'll even bring it to certain fish and, like, shove it in their face, like, eat the food. And when they're new to it, they don't really realize that that is what food is. But when you make it a routine with the tweezers and this is where the food is, then they kind of know, hey, the lady what comes around and does stuff has the tweezers in her hand. Usually that means food. Let's go see what this food is all about. And then they'll just kind of go up. You know, it's their first time. They're not that good at it. They'll figure it out.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I've always found it easiest just to thaw it out, like in a little tiny shot glass. That's my pointer. Is I always just thawed it out and went that route. That's what I've always done.
I just think it's fun to do it with the tweezers.
Hey, tweezers is good advice if you want to do it that way. I'm saying that what I always did was thaw it out. I've always found that, like, when I put the ice block in there, like the chunk of ice, it's just like, oh, that's a disaster. Yep. So I've always thawed it out. So it's like in tank water. You know, I'll just take a scoop of tank water, thaw it out, and then just doop, 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 dump some in there. I always found that to be the easiest, them eating most of it way. And any kind of stringy poop like that you got going on with the diarrhea, whatnot, you want to feed them peas, you know, and it sounds like you already have peas, so I would just go that route. Generally works the best. It's the easiest thing, most identifiable thing to do, and it works great. $5 super chat from John Gonzalez says, do you find that cherry shrimp get more color outside in your summer tubs than inside, or is that just hogwash?
Oh, I've never kept them outside personally. I just know from what other people say.
I think it's pretty much hogwash personally. I think, yeah, they probably color up and are a little bit healthier being outside, but I think the biggest thing with that is that they're probably getting a lot of natural food. You know,
more varieties.
Infusoria, variety of food, generally like a bigger tank that, you know, like most ponds are bigger than most people's aquariums, you know. If you have a 400-gallon pond sitting on the ground,
yeah,
it doesn't take up a whole lot of space. You have 400-gallon tank in your living room. You're like, oh, there's this big thing in here, right?
Now I don't have room for my
Yeah.
couch.
So yeah, exactly. Or somebody will have like 100-gallon little pond thing outside, and there's nothing else in there. There's like nothing preying on them, you know, fish or any of that kind of stuff. So that's generally what it is. You know, it's like if you had some really strong colored, you know, Sakura cherry shrimp or something like that, like the fire cherries,
Mm-hmm.
and they're in your tank, and they're really brightly colored up, it's like,
Right.
you know, right?
Right,
You
like
kinda
I've
just be
got-
like, well, these are just as bright as the bright ones from outside, so, you know.
Yeah. Like
Just-
I did a bad thing, and I mixed painted fire reds with Bloody Mary shrimp.
Mhm.
So my shrimp are kind of cool looking, I guess.
They'll be fine.
They're fine.
It'll be fine.
They're okay.
Fish Tank Barn says, you were right. It's an SL2. I own 2 of them. She took some pics, and I used the other camera.
Nice.
Oh, he has 2 of them. He has 2 of the SL2s?
You get to be right.
I bet you he's pissed that the SL3's out now, right?
Aw. He's probably not pissed.
I bet you he's pissed. He's probably not pissed. You know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Alvin Alejo with a $10 super chat so that Alyssa will dust the cobwebs. That's a ballsy statement. Because now we all going to have to fight Alyssa if she tries to steal my cobwebs. Karate style. Because I don't do taekwondo. Johan sends in more of the breakdown from the old... he's got an electron microscope and he's going buck wild.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got some access to things. This week's picture of a cycloid scale taken with the electron microscope. Cycloid scales are smooth edge scales predominantly found in lower order teleost fishes.
Teleost?
Teleost? Is that right? I don't know that word. Such as salmon, carp, and other soft fin ray fish, similar to setnoid scales. I think that's setnoid. I don't know. Carp and other soft fin rayed fish, similar. Oh, they're overlapping, which is allowing for greater flexibility in movement than other types of scales, such as ganoid scales. The surface layer of the scale is comprised of calcium-based salts, and the inner layer is predominantly collagen. As fish grows, its scales grow, adding concentric layers similar to tree rings. For certain species, these rings can be counted to estimate the age of the fish. I knew some of this stuff. I don't know the telost or the what is it? Setnoid? Setnoid, I think.
I don't know.
I think that's right.
It looks Russian.
But yeah, I've definitely been around a lot of salmon and carp in my day, and I've actually seen a very similar picture to this, if not the actual picture of this, you know, from a bunch of carp studies that I was doing, which seems to have kind of been a waste of time at the time, but maybe later on it wasn't that bad of a thing. But a lot of the scale studies and stuff we were doing was to hunt them properly and actually instead of bow and arrow them, figure out a way to actually euthanize them quickly. But it turns out like the bow and arrow is kind of the best way to go about it without like ruining the waterway.
Right.
Yeah.
Like something other than poisoning all the water.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It just
Honestly,
seems,
if you're dealing with carp, you know they would just turn into super carp, and
that's the issue. They would just mutate and start walking on land and biting people and stuff.
Yep.
Johan also said this in a shot the scale with electrodes at 20 kilovolts, showing the chemical elements magnesium, phosphorus, and calcium, which makes sense. That's what should be in a fish scale for sure. But very cool. More of the electron microscope action, which is rad, and I'm also like super jealous, and I wish I was kind of doing that right now. But I'm not. I'm here not using an electron microscope. I don't know. I mean, I don't wish I was doing that right now as a cut to anybody here. The reason I say that is that, like, I don't even know how much does an electron microscope cost. I don't know that I'll ever have the use of one.
I don't know.
'Cause I don't know if-
Aren't those normally just at like universities and stuff?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, I don't know if you can make friends with someone in the biology department at University Tacoma or something.
Okay. Like, I'm friends with you.
Uh-huh.
I'm friends with Bentley.
Uh-huh.
How many more friends am I supposed to have?
I think you need one more.
What?
Yep.
Oh.
I want to see parasite pictures. That's what I want to see.
Ooh, parasite pictures.
Yep. I
Well,
want to see
hopefully
what ick
Johan-
looks like, and I want to see what velvet looks like.
Oh. We have a request.
Yeah.
Hot requests. Nick's Fish Room sends this one in. Says, thanks to the Fish Fam. Thanks to the Fish Fam and not a little help from you. That's a confusing sentence.
He's saying that you helped him a lot.
What?
A little double negative thing going on.
Tripping, bro. I've evolved from plant killer and algae grower to plant nerd with a serious plant addiction to the space in the space of a couple of years. Thanks, Joel. Keep on inspiring and influencing. I'll do what I can if I can afford to keep doing it. You know, thanks to the Patreon people and stuff like that. It's just not out of the realm of possibility. So, thank you.
One of my favorite things about plants and planted tanks and that kind of thing is that when you get like, oh man, I just want to impulse buy some stuff, and you go to the store and you can impulse buy some plants without overstocking your tank.
That's true.
It's my favorite thing. You go to like the fish auctions at the meetings and stuff, the aquarium meetings, and everybody's got these cool fish, and you can't fit any more fish, or any of those fish are going to eat your other fish, and you just don't want to buy those. But then there's cool plants, and you can buy all of those.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, that's a good point. Yeah, because what are you going to do? Overstock plants?
I mean, you can shade out the little plants that you're trying to do.
Yeah, you can't.
something,
That's not a
but
big deal.
Yeah. And you just need more light, obviously.
Yeah, you just get one of these weird lights.
Like a sideways light.
Hold on. Yeah! Like that?
Yes.
Yeah. That's my desk lamp, bros. As bright as the sunbeams.
Probably not.
Okay. We got to go because we got stuff to do. I want to thank everybody for coming out today. I know it was kind of a mellow Friday. There's only 80 of you here, so hit the like, share, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. I want to say thanks to Rob the Butcher, Rumbus, Jim Smith, Big D, Smoke, Alvin Alejo, the Fish Tank Barn, Chris Gonzalez, twice. Christopher Gonzalez twice. Oh, my God. That's a double whammy. John Gonzalez, probably not related. The Fish Tank Barn, again, Alvin Alejo to the dust. To dust the cobwebs, Alyssa, is what he posted. And I was trying to say that, and then I don't know what happened. I had to burp, and then I still just burp now, and that's rad. So hit the like and subscribe. Thank you guys for your super chats. Thank you for coming out. Blah, blah, blah. Boopity boop. Scoobity boopity boop. Boop, 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 boop. I clicked the wrong button, and it closed the chat, and it didn't turn off the jam.